What if God spoke to you tonight? Would you recognize his voice? Or would you mistake it for a thought, a feeling, or silence? Because the truth is, God has always spoken, and every time he did, history changed. In the Bible, God rarely shouts. He doesn't force his voice into the noise of the world. He waits till someone is willing to listen. The call of Samuel there was once a young boy named Samuel. He lived in the house of God. He served faithfully, but he did not yet know the voice of the Lord. One night, as Samuel lay sleeping, he heard his name, Samuel. He got up quickly and ran to Eli the priest. "Here I am," he called me. But Eli said, "I did not call you. Go back and lie down." So Samuel returned to his bed. Again, the voice came, "Samuel." Again, he ran. Again, he was sent back. This happened 3 times until finally Eli understood. This was not a man speaking. This was God. And Eli told Samuel something powerful. "Next time you hear, Lord, okay, for your servant is listening." That night, God spoke, and from that moment on, Samuel's life was never the same. Because when God speaks, okay, he doesn't just call you, he reveals your purpose. Moses centuries earlier. Another man heard God's voice. Moses, a man hiding in the desert, a shepherd, a fugitive. He believed his story was over until one day he saw a bush on fire, burning, but not consumed. As he stepped closer, a voice called out, "Moses, Moses," and God said, "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." It wasn't the desert that was holy. It was the moment. Moses doubted. He resisted. He felt unqualified. But God had already decided. When God speaks, your past no longer defines you. Your obedience does. And then there was Elijah, exhausted, afraid, ready to give up. He cried out to God in the wilderness. God told him to stand on the mountain. First came a mighty wind. But God was not in the wind, then an earthquake. But God was not in the earthquake, then fire. But God was not in the fire. And after the fire, a gentle whisper. That's where God was. Not in the noise, not in the chaos, but in the stillness. Because sometimes God speaks loud enough to move nations, and sometimes soft enough to heal a broken heart. Today God still speaks, but the world has never been louder. Notifications, deadlines, fear, anxiety. We scroll endlessly, wondering why God feels silent. But maybe he's been speaking all along. Maybe the problem isn't God's voice. Maybe it's our attention. Because God doesn't compete with noise. He waits for surrender. Closing, God spoke to Samuel in the night, to Moses in the desert, to Elijah in a whisper. And he still speaks today, through conviction, through peace, through moments you can't explain. The question is not if God is speaking. The question is, are you listening?